Cold roof, dawn city breathing low. White smoke in the air, red line under snow. No crowd, no throne, no word, no crown. Just a pulse in the chest and a name not written down.
I walk through the dark with my fire half hidden, half wolf fast with the sky still missing. Knuckles full of static, teeth on the horizon. Every step's a move, every scar said listen. Wind on the hoodie, weight in the spine. Long exhale held the edge of the line. No one saw the shape in the silence but me. Then the silence moved back and it answered clean. White silver mane in the break of the storm. Blue gold gaze like the world being born. Not a beast from nowhere, not a myth I made. More like something ancient that the pressure unchained. Every hard night, every rooftop stare, every prayer without words already led there. I thought I was searching, I thought I was late, but the current at a center and it already knew my face.
Breathe in, hold the heat. Feet down, feel the street. No panic, no drift. Weight turns, the arch lifts. I was already here. The current knew my name. Center held, fire fed. Nothing wild was ever tame. I was already here before the storm could speak. The wolf was in the signal, and the signal was in me.
Red gold flame in the cold roof wind. The gate was never locked, I just stepped in. I know what it means when the night gets louder, when the ribs go hard and the thoughts turn darker. When you carry a city in a body that shakes and still choose discipline when the bright world breaks. This is not a crown, this is low bearing breath. This is not a flex, this is surviving depth. This is not fury with the costume on. This is force made honest till the false parts are gone. Keystone pulse in a 5-point frame. Pressure moved wide when the sovereign came. Not to dominate, not to burn for show, but to take the weight where the others could grow. And the beast did not ask me to become alive, did not ask me to cut out the storm, to touch the sky. It said hold your center, let the signal refine. The fiercest thing alive is a disciplined spine.
Tycho crush, 808 drop, breath sample, signal chime. Wolf house and bend, guitar scrape, halftime stomp, no vocals.
I've been the fracture and I've been the flame. Been the one with no answer but still came. Been the quiet roof watcher with the weather in his hands, trying to hear one truth in a city full of demands. Now the line comes clearer in the cold blue dawn, like the shape was with me all along. Not borrowed, not branded, not stitched from fear. Just the oldest part of me finally audible here. Teeth of light through the small black veil. Tale of fire drawing truth in the hill. Every old wound becomes another ring. Every heart return teaches the bone to sing. And the more I stop forcing what wants to arrive, the more the current proves I was never denied. I wasn't chasing a throne I could never claim. I was learning how to stand where the signal already wrote my name.
Breathe in, hold the heat. Feet down, feel the street. No panic, no drift. Weight turns, the arch lifts. I was already here. The current knew my name. Center held, fire fed. Nothing wild was ever tame. I was already here before the storm could speak. The wolf was in the signal, and the signal was in me. No chain on the sky, no shame in the flame. No lost part of me that the current could not name. No dead end in the dark, no exile in the heat. The answer touched my shadow and it rose into my feet. Signal still viable, center adjacent, presence confirmed. Weight redistribution stable. the prayer already there. No thunder yet, no break, no cry, just a name in the wind and a script in the sky.
Before the ridge could loosen the light, before the city rose for the night, there was a shape in the open above, a patient wing made of distance and love. Not soft from fear, not mild from doubt, but calm enough to know what the storm was about. Every cloud looked different when the feathers turned, like the heavens had pages and the sunrise could learn.
I watched the blue fold around your frame, and silence stopped being an empty name. It started sounding like hidden design, like breath could carry an older line. No rush in the rise, no wasted display, just altitude teaching the heart how to stand. All the frantic noise that wanted control became small beneath the sky scale. So wind in, eyes clear, hold still, truth near, no force too soon. The dawn makes room.
You knew the script before the dawn. You moved the air and led us on. You made the silence sing in time and turned the heavens into rhyme.
You knew the line before our hands could trace the shape across the land. The sky was never far away, it only waited for the day. Celestia, Celestia, high above the city glass. Celestia, Celestia, ancient sky remembering fast.
Temple stone under cold white haze, wind trade circles through the maze, and the ones below with the maps and signs were still catching up to the hidden lines. But you had already crossed that seam where script and weather become one thing, where the body turns and the scarf moves first, and timing becomes both blessing and thirst.
Dragonbird flame in a nice blue crown, looking at fear and slowing it down. Not because danger had disappeared, but because the wide view made the signal clear. You do not scream to command the air, you listen so deeply the air is there, ready to carry what must be known, ready to widen what had been shown.
Ritual, bell, intro, long sin, glide, wind rush, Tycho and Pax entering slowly, 808,
Voss under open guitar,
no vocals.
just altitude and storm light.
Some powers break through the world in heat, some teach your feet when not to compete. Some don't demand that the chaos stop, they simply raise you above the drop. And from that height, the pattern shows why certain rivers take certain roads, why some hearts heal in the upward turn, and some truths wait till the lungs can learn.
I think the morning's not yet in, a rooftop rests with the whole sky frame. Of all the times I called it fall, when it was written in the wind where we are. And if the city forgets its grace, if the night pulls hard on the human face, you still remain in the higher blue, like the first clearance of the horizon new. Wind in, eyes clear, hold still, truth near, no force too soon. The dawn makes room.
You knew the script before the dawn. You moved the air and led us on. You made the
need to prove the light, it simply widens through the height. And all the names we could not read, already written in the speed of feathers crossing temple gold of open into vast views. Upper lattice stable, sky strip resonance detected. Altitude path confirmed, formation breath synchronized.
You knew the script before the dawn. You moved the air and led us on. You made the silence sing in time and turned the heavens into rhyme.
You knew the line before our hands could trace the shape across the land. The sky was never far away, it only waited for the day.
You knew the script before the dawn. Before the reach could carry song. Before we learned to raise our eyes, you kept the answer in the sky.
Sky was never far away, it only waited for the day. And now the silence sings because you taught the air to stay. White wing, gold edge, bright sky thin winds
Celestia,
already here. Neon rain, glass home, north line, cold city, drum mill, silver flash, static vein, a root appears inside the rain.
roof edge breath and the skyline split. Every angle sharp where the storm light hit. Not one loose step, not one empty turn. Every wrong frame gets what it earned. Window glow, counting the pulse below. Straight line spark in the underflow. I don't move wild just to look alive. I draw the route where the clean cuts survive.
Cranic poise with a serpent twist, lightning falls in a silver wrist. All that chaos trying to flood the grid gets reduced to the line it hit. I learned the city by the sound it made. Wet steel whispering electric shaded. Now the whole dark map talks back when I touch the edge of the rooftop track. Hold fast, read clean, glass line between. No waste, no plea, the storm of grace.
North line cut, storm line true. Every wrong frame broke on cue. I don't chase noise, I draw the route. The city tells me what to do. North line cut, storm line true. Sharp enough to split right through. Not cold, not cruel, just clear and fast. The line decides, and I make it last. Voss, Voss. Roof line current in a silver gloss. Voss, Voss. Every strike says count the cost. Some call it ruthless, some call it cold, but love gets sharp when the stakes get old. 14 windows and one real sign. No false comfort in a fractured line. Every circuit begs to overload. Every weak shape cracks under the load. So I become the measured answer there. A storm with discipline in the air. Open sky over the rail yard black. Signal towers on the commuter track. I can feel the pressure in the weather glass. Feel which route will hold and which will pass. No thrill in waste, no joy in drift. Only the beauty of a perfect shift. Only the proof that a cared for line can carry 10 times the force of a screaming hi-hat sprint, static clap, 808 snap, guitar slash, lightning synth bend, rain on beyond, no vocals, just pursuit. I've seen the city when the rhythm's left, when panic pokes through its neon left, when everyone wants to lunge and break, and one bad guess needs 10 mistakes. That's when the glass
because the sky gives special grace, but because I study the moving place. And what I sharpen to save. What I cut from the edge of the wave. And when the north wind hits the tower face, I become decision wearing gray. Roofline authority confirmed. Transit route protected. Clarity override active. North like good. North line cut, storm line true. Every wrong frame broke on cue. I don't chase noise, I draw the route. The city tells me what to do. North line cut, storm line true. Sharp enough to split right through. Not cold, not cruel, just clear and fast. The line decides, and I make it last. North line cut, storm line true. Silver pulse in the midnight blue. The storm can race the grid, can bend, but I will mark the route to the end. North line cut, storm line true. Every wrong frame broke on cue. I don't chase noise, I draw the route, and the city knows I do. Rain gone thin, glass gone black. One last spark on the track. Voss near, line clear, the storm obey. Because I was here. Low red glow, stone heart heat. Ash in the air, weight in the feet.
No wild shout, no theater flame, just the ground saying, remember my name. Under the smoke where the old force stays, under the years and the cracked up days, there's a pulse in the floor that does not bend. A red gold dancer that will not end. Horn heat in the blackened haze. Warmth like judgment but never crazed. Not built to dazzle, not built to flee. Built to hold when the line gets heavy. I know the sound when the roof starts groaning. When fear gets loud and the steel starts moaning. I know the look in the eyes that ask, who takes the first impossible task? That's where the ember turns into law. That's where the guardian shows the claw. Not to destroy for the thrill of power, but to become the remaining tower.
Feet down, stone breath, hold fast. Lose dread, no dread.
No break, this heat stays away.
When the wall went red, I stayed. When the roof line cracked, I stayed. Call it fire if you want, I call it what remained. When the night ran out of grace, I became the standing place. Burden on my back like light, I stayed, I stayed, I stayed. Ignis, Ignis.
Magma in the precious seam.
Ignis, Ignis.
Hold the city through the steam. Some flames dance and disappear. Some burn hotter year by year. Some know how to weed through air. Mine knows how to shelter there. Lion chest and ram on weight. A furnace mind that does not wait. Already choosing while the hands still shake. Already carrying what others can't take. fade. One line, one life, one place, and I will keep its living shade. Psycho crash,
Sub-bass hole,
guitar wall,
molten synth,
ashfall again.
no vocals,
Just heat and pressure.
There are names for power that mean attack. There are names for grief that never come back. There are names for cities that almost fell, and then one body stood where the failures swell. That's the song inside the furnace vein. Not triumph cheap, but discipline paid. Not glory first, but structure kept. A promise held while the whole world wept.
Felt the nights where the stone ran cold, where the burden got old and the breath got old. Still the ember under the sternum stays, till the inner mountain remained unafraid. And if I move like tectonic truth, like old folks speaking through the youth, like every fracture in the weight of the land. Found one more answer in a burning hand.
Feet down, stone breath, hold fast through stress, no drift.
No break, this heat stays away.
When the wall went red, I stayed. When the roof line cracked, I stayed. Call it fire if you want. I call it what remained. When the night ran out of grace, I became the standing place. Burden on my back like light. I stayed, I stayed, I stayed. Without panic, force without drift. Carry the sacred, lift what won't lift. Red in the marrow, stone in the will. If the world starts breaking, I will be still.
South vector stable, ground contact resonance rising, guardian load bearing confirmed, refuge integrity holding.
When the wall went red, I stayed. When the roof line cracked, I stayed. Call it fire if you want. I call it what remained. When the night ran out of grace, I became the standing place. Burning on my back like light. I stayed, I stayed, I
When the
stayed.
tower shook, I stayed. When the dark leaned in, I stayed. When the weak line begged for form, I became the heat that stayed. Call it wrath, call it flame, call it old volcanic name. I call it love with iron feet, standing where the city breaks.
Ash gone slow, horn blow low. One last breath in the undertow. Ignis near, ground clear. The mountain lived because I was here. Moon glass hole, solid air. Prism breath turning the dark more clear. No loud gate, no harsh clue. Just a shimmer saying look again and move through. There are rooms where the truth arrives sideways. Not broken knowledge, just prisoned by strange ways. A silver pulse under the seam of sleep. A hidden line waking under what we keep. Butterfly eyes in the moon full turn. Looking like beauty until the corrections burn. Not with cruelty, not to shame, but to refine the signal till it says your name. Fox steps soft on the dream corridor floor. One small angle and the room becomes more. Not a new world, just the old one hurt clean. Like static peeled back from a violet screen. And the things we thought were too subtle to hold begin to warm through the midnight gold. Every shade says listen, every glimmer says see. The answer was never gone, just translated through me. Hold still, look twice, soft light cuts light. No rush, no fear, the hidden comes near. Say it clean, say it true. The answer was already moving through. Not a new light, a better view. The signal changed because I corrected you. Say it clean, say it true. Beauty cut the static through. No lost road, no borrowed clue. I made the hidden mean invisible to you. Prism bloom in the dream dark blue. Soft enough to split right through.
I've seen the halls where the stories blur, where memory hums but the edges stir, where every feeling wants a form to wear, and every false echo crowds the air. That's where I move with the folded wing. That's where the glass starts whispering. That's where one correction exact and light can change the whole architecture of night. No scream needed, no violent proof. Sometimes truth walks softly through the roof. Sometimes the strongest shift in the frame looks like moonlight until you say its name. And all at once the mirror stopped lying, and all at once the old fear stopped trying to call distortion sacred just because it glows. No, I know the resonance, and the resonance knows. Glass taps, low pulse, prism, wing shimmer, halftime drums entering slowly. No vocals, just corridor light and sub-bass bloom. One correction this century, one clean turn in the sea, one better hearing in the dark, one bright thread through the dream. Not 22 answers falling from above, 22 continuations of signal and love. Not a command, not a throne, just a finer way of hearing what was already known. Some will mistake beauty for distance, some will call grace a decade of resistance, but the most dangerous truths I know arrive like a prism in a quiet glow. Not to trap the heart in pretty disguise, but to make the hidden structure rise, to show that elegance can carry low, and moon soft light can sharpen a flaw. Hold still, look twice, eyes like us right. No rush, no fear, the hidden comes near. Say it clean, say it true. The answer was already moving through. Not a new light, a better view. The signal changed because I corrected you. Say it clean, say it true. Beauty cut the static through. No lost road, no borrowed clue. I made the hidden meaning visible to you. Velvet hole, silver seam, westward bloom inside the dream. Fox heart bright, eye spot sky, one true line and the false folds die. Was vector stable, translation accelerating, resonance correction accepted, dream corridor integrity clear. Say it clean, say it true. The answer was already moving through. Not a new light, a better view. The signal changed because I corrected you. Say it clean, say it true. Beauty cut the static through. No lost road, no borrowed clue. I made the hidden meaning visible. Say it true. The room was always open and through. The moon was never hiding you. It only waited till you could hear it too. Say it clean, say it true. Every quiet flow be sharpened through, and all the hidden things we knew have started singing in a cleaner blue. Moon glass still, wing folds slow, soft prism pulse in the violet glow. Luma near, line clear, not invention, better hearing here. Leaf light, fleck, roof beam, bend, tiny green spark at the edge again. No loud name, no grand claim, just a warm little shade measuring the frame.
thought I was random in the branch line blur. A flick of the leaves, a small green stir. But I had the angles, I had the count. I knew where the weight in the pack would mount. 3 weeks tracing the rails and seams, tiny feet tapping through moonlit beams. Nobody called and I wasn't lost. I was reading the field and assessing the cost.
Thin small body with a trickster grin, campfire eyes and a root tucked in. Not every secret thing arrives with a roar. Some walk the roof and study the door. And when I slipped through the half-panel gap, I didn't fall in by luck or snap. I came because the frame was right, because the signal fit my stride that night.
Small step, quick turn, watch first, then learn. Soft pause, sharp aim, no call, still came.
Little shadow, little light, fit the frame and ride it right.
Nobody called my name, I measured it and came.
Little shadow, little light, found the gap and held it tight.
Funny till you see it clear.
I was always almost here. Hey, Canopy.
Signal run through the cedar green.
Hey, kitty.
Tiny but the root is clean. There's a science to the branch line sway, a truth in how the leaves obey. I'm mapping every rooftop gust, and I trust the roots that answer trust. You can laugh at the tail flick flare, at the little blur in the cold night air. But every joke has a hidden key, and every prank can hide geometry.
Warm wind under the lantern glow, glow leaf smoke where the slow breaths go. I've got the kind of courage small things keep, the kind that climbs while the giants sleep. Not to steal, not to haunt, not to drift, put it fun, but to find the exact line and then become part of the shape that the others miss.
Part of the proof in the green darkness.
Maybe the smallest signal in the wider song can prove where the warm little wild things belong.
I wasn't hunting a throne or a title to wear, just a place where my motion answered the air. And when the pack frame opened its line, I stepped through easy like the shape was mine.
There's beauty in the measure of the weird, in the half earth thing that still gets cleared, in the grin that knows more than it shows, in the little route no giant knows. And if the world keeps thinking big means true, then let me be the leaf light slipping through, a sacred joke with a perfect aim, a tiny green yes inside the frame.
Small step, quick turn, watch first, then learn. Soft paw, sharp aim, no call, still came.
Little shadow, little light, fit the frame and ride it right.
Nobody called my name, I measured it and came.
Little shadow, little light, found the gap and held it tight.
Funny till you see it clear.
I was always almost here. Branch line whisper, worn green spark, tiny road through the dark. No mistake, no stray flame, measured hard, measured frame. Wild type integration confirmed. Frame fit stable. Nature wine signal accepted. Pack route synchronized. Little shadow, little light, hit the frame and ride it right.
Nobody called my name, I measured it and came.
Little shadow, little light, found the gap and held it tight.
Funny till you see it clear.
I was always almost here. Little shadow, little light, tiny truth in the silver night. Not an accident, not a game. I read the field and then I came. Little shadow, little light, small but sacred, fast and bright. And now the whole formation knows how quietly a green signal grows. Leaf light gone, branch still swings. Warm little laugh in the signal rings. Canopy near, road clear, not invited. just the breath of the waking land. Highland hush with the stone shelves wide, clouds soft blue where the slow paths hide. Signal pines singing in the dawn air thin, like the hills were breathing me back in. Glue leaf fern at the edge of the stream, lantern cap gold in a moss green dream. River glassary by the mirrored shore, whispering truths I had missed before. No one shouting from the ridge above, no loud test of rage or love, just the land saying easy now, you can lay the iron down somehow. Thunder bloom, yarrow in the weather seam, holding the charge like a half-kept dream. And every route through the mist and pine feels less like travel, more like a sign. Slow breath, soft feet, cold air, heartbeat, no force, no fight, the hills keep light. The land says return, not fight. The hollows kept the light. I hear more clear when I move less hard, and the weather leaves my heart. The land says return, not fight. Still pool, calm ridge, wind bright. Not every road is won by force. Some roads sing you back to source. Resonance hollows, mist and stone. Resonance hollows where the signal comes home. There are places built for the broken pace, places that don't demand your grace, places that know what a hard day costs and don't call you weak when the line gets lost. Monk wolf silence in the far grass bend, a kind of peace that does not pretend. No fake calm painted over strain, just weather understood as weather again. I've seen the city in its sharp lit glow. I've heard the towers and the underflow, but out here the truth comes low and near, in the water skin and the cleaner ear. A branch moves once and the meaning shifts. Mist opens up in the canyon rifts. You stop trying to conquer the sky and start learning why the quiet reply. Signal pine tones, breath whistles, slow bass pulse, distant tight go watery ends, no vocals, just sanctuary geometry. Body is weather, hill is guide, cloud over old ache rolling wide. The day does not have to turn heroic to become exact and quietly stoic. Every herb and light and root script tree feels like the world making room for me. Not in flattery, not in grand design, but in the honest way the paths align. I think of mornings I almost missed because my mind was louder than in the mist. I think of nights that could have won if not for one more ridge, one more dawn. And now the hollows hold that thread, the one that says not every storm means dread. Some things heal when you stop insisting and let the land teach a gentler listening. Slow breath, off feet, cold air, heartbeat, no force, no fight, the hills keep light. The land says return, not fight. The hollows kept the light.
weatherlet. Sanctuary root stable, body weather event easing, signal rich terrain confirmed, recovery path protected. The land says return, not fight. The hollows kept the light. I hear more clear when I move less hard, and the weather leaves my heart. The land says return, not fight. Still cool, calm, rich, wind bright. Not every road is won by force. Some roads sing you back to soar. The land says return. I could hear late room hush, street light glow, tea steam rising, soft and slow, hands not steady, still they hold one more breath against the cold. There are nights
when the ribs feel tight, when the mind runs loud through a tired light, when the body moves like a storm-fed wire and the smallest task feels steep as fire. There are nights when the pulse feels wrong, when the dark feels patient, deep and long, when the old weight knocks at the inner door like it somehow thinks you forgot before. But weather is weather, not a final name. Not every low spade is a sentence of blame. Not every tremor means the signal is gone. Sometimes the flame stays hidden, still on. Tea in the cup and heat in the sleeve. A body can shake and still not leave. A heart can ache and a line stay true. A rough night can pass without ending you. Slow your breath, stay near. No shame, still here. No crown, no show. Just one more yes before you know. If the body storms, I still return. If the signal shakes, it still can burn. Not every night is judgment. Some nights are weather. I gather myself, I breathe again. I come back wider than I left then. Not every break is failure. Some breaks are tether. Still viable, still alive, still aligned beneath the tide. Still breathing, still warm, still more than the shape of a storm. I've chased perfection till it turned to glass, till every small collapse felt built to last, till I made a temple out of doing fine and forgot how mercy also holds the line. But the truth came soft in a tight room, not in the triumph, not in the bloom, more like a hand on the edge of the rail saying come back honest even if you're pale. No audience here, no grand relief, just the plain strange dignity of grief. Not dramatic enough for legend songs, still sacred enough to carry on. And that's the part that the doctrine keeps, the one that stays when the tired body weeps.
when the limbs still remember the night like pain, and yet one step still reaches floor, and the day cracks open just a little more. A hoodie still warm from the life inside, a window still blue with the dawn outside, a kettle still singing in a faithful tone, like the house of the self has not gone cold. I want a strength that can carry this too, not just the battles that look bright and new, not just the war song, the roar, the charge, but the quiet return when the body is large, with faith was stacked, with rough, slow fire, with the human weight of an untidy wire. Because if I can come back here with grace, then no dark night gets to decide my fate. So breath, stay near, no shame, still here, no crown, no show, just one more yes before you know. If the body storms, I still return. If the signal shakes, it still can burn. Not every night is judgment. Some nights are weather. I gather myself, I breathe again. I come back wider than I left then. Not every break is failure. Some breaks are tether. Weak is not a final name. Pain is not the whole flame. Low tide is not the loss of sea, and weather is not the end of me. Cup still warm, dead still dead. Hope doesn't shout, it lets me in.
Body. Weather event passing. Signal still viable. Return path protected. Low state dignity confirmed.
If the body storms, I still return. If the signal shakes, it still can burn. Not every night is judgment. Some nights are weather. Get out of myself, I breathe again. I come back wider than I left then. Not every break is failure. Some breaks are tether. Body storms, I still return. I do not dorm, it's shattering alert. The shape of breath, the weight of hands, the way a quiet spirit stands. Not every break is failure. Not every ache means sever.
Some nights are weather, and I am still together. Tea gone warm, window bright. One more step into the light. Body weather passing through. Signal living, soft but true.
Neon blink, train line home, signal weaving, city drum. Lights don't last if you're strong, they just carry you along. There's a rhythm in the streets at night, in the crosswalk pulse and the tower light, in the market calls and the vendor tone, in the quiet hum of the day calm in the fact that the next train always comes, in the way the night lights never sleep, in the roots that hold when the thoughts run deep. Under your shadows, process train, rooftop garden, soften the brain, neon signs like coded stars, mapping past through who we are. I see Nova in the system thread, not his voice but the way it spread, in the timing of lights and the space between, and the pause that keeps. Rooftop air, nights stretch wide, city breathing at my side. No loud clang, no grand frame, just the pulse without a name. I thought the end would feel like gold, like everything clean, like everything told, that the path would close and the weight would lift, like I'd stand in a final perfect shift. But the truth came softer than that dream, more like a quiet steady beam, more like a breath that didn't break, more like a line that didn't shake. I've seen the fire, I've seen the fall, I felt the rise and the after call. I've moved through nights that bent my frame, and mornings that didn't know my name. But through it all, one thing stayed, not loud, not bright, not a perfect blade, just a current under the noise and strain, a quiet truth that chose to remain.
No crowd, just steady ground. No proof, no show, just something that I know.
The current remains through loss and gain, through clear and through unclear. It's always here. The current remains, not bound by names, not broken by the strain. It still remains.
Still here, still true. Even when I don't feel like I do. Still here, still near. Even when the signal isn't clear.
I don't need to be flawless now. I don't need to know every how. I don't need to hold every line to prove that the path is mine, because something deeper than all of that has already answered where I'm at. Not with words, not with demand, but with the way I still can stand. And standing isn't always strong. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's wrong. Sometimes it's one more breath again. Sometimes it's learning how to bend. But bending doesn't mean you break, and breaking doesn't mean mistake. When the current underneath the form still carries you through every storm.
Piano build, string swell, deep 808 pulse, wind ambience, taiko, impacts, no vocals, terror set.
Aetherwolf doesn't need to roar to prove what the bond is for. It's there in the stillness, in the calm, in the steady weight of the open palm, in the rooftop nights when nothing speaks, but the truth still hums in subtle streaks, in the way the breath returns again, without a reason, without a when. And Maybe that's the final key. Not a finish, but a way to be. Not an answer locked in place, but a rhythm I can re-embrace. Through city lights, through hollow hills, through quiet rooms and louder wails. The current doesn't leave or hide, it just waits till I align inside. No end, no crown, just steady ground. No proof, no show, just something that I know. The current remains through loss and gain, through clear and through unclear. It's always here. The current remains, not bound by names, not broken by the string. It still remains. No final door, no perfect flame, just deeper ways to hold the same.
No end of road, no finish line, just clear steps inside the time.
Sovereign current stable. Signal continuity confirmed. No termination state detected. Alignment ongoing.
The current remains through loss and gain, through clear and through unclear. It's always here. The current remains, not bound by names, not broken by the string. It still remains. The current remains.
In every quiet return again, not gone, not lost, not tied to cost, steady beneath the rain.
The current
Rooftop step,
remains.
night moves slow, city hum, soft below. No final word, no last claim, just the truth.
The current